Welcome to Georgia Beattie. Having launched, grown and sold her own business, Lupe Wines, Georgia's held a number of advisory roles, as well as being CEO of Startup Victoria, fostering entrepreneurial culture within the state. Recently, joining the REA Group as Executive Manager of Spacely, we talked to her about her drive.
My superpower to date is being able to take something that is an idea or in its infancy to actually manifesting a market and taking it to market in a meaningful way, which is, and so it requires a lot of creativity to say, this is what it looks like now, but it's going to look like this, and taking people on that journey. The biggest thing was going and studying in the States and actually understanding what entrepreneurship was, because it wasn't something that I really understood. I would say my lack of attention to detail. I just don't. When I need to get in the detail, then I'll get down in the trenches because I have to. But otherwise, I'm sort of more bigger picture, and that's the stuff I love doing.
The macro stuff.
Yeah, and so it kills me getting into the detail, and I do it when I have to. But otherwise, I'm sort of not reading things properly because they don't interest me. So that would drive people insane.
Fair enough.
It's being really conscious in the things that you do, because you are a leader when you go into business. You're making an impact on society, on the environment, and it's about being super aware of what the impact is. The more genuine people are in leadership, the more you're able to communicate why it is you're going on this particular journey. That is leadership. For me, it's not sitting in your femininity and being comfortable in it, because business it's yin and yang, but it's traditionally been very masculine.
Yeah.
And I found myself, I had a manufacturing business, but I found myself putting on the blazer and having to conduct business in a very masculine, sort of forceful way, when actually it doesn't need to be like that. You can do it in a very aware and sensitive way. The skill sets of the future being around technology, they're not attracting women at the moment. That's going to have a flow-on effect for the next generation on what jobs and skill sets they've got. A little bit sick of when I saw some tweets this morning where a particular leader, a CEO of a company, says, oh shit, this is a problem which we need to be supporting women. And they'll do something that's in a very superficial, sort of almost PR-facing way. And I use an example of a company that's, we don't employ enough women in venture capital, but you go and have a look. And so they decided, right, we're going to employ women. They employ a female to run events and be a community lead, rather than looking at the deals and doing the numbers behind it. I know lots of bankers and people that are good at numbers and investment, and also run startups that would be fantastic in those roles, but they've got a forward-facing female that's doing community things rather than on the tools, looking at startups and running models and working out whether they're a good investment. So I'm sick of this very superficial front foot on, oh look, we're doing things for diversity, which no, you're not. I see lots of women if they can't do it 90 to 100%, then they'll say maybe not. It's putting your hand up to say, yep, I'm gonna have a go at that, and it doesn't matter if I don't get all the way or I fail, but at least I've had a go, and it's been a really big challenge. And so it's just about being being a little bit more confident. When you've got sort of a high growth career or startup, and you've got family at the same time, as well as your own personal growth and exercise and mental health, it's just this constant balance. And anyone that says that no, I do this and I've got everything organised, I'd love to meet them, because I speak with other sort of female leaders regularly on panels, and I haven't met one that said, yeah, I've got that nailed. I was raising seed capital at the start of the company, and I took capital from someone that it didn't feel right at the time, but I was young and I didn't really know where to put that feeling. That was my gut saying, no, don't do it. That didn't have the same sort of growth or vision of the company that I did, and so it ended up being sort of a super expensive mistake. And it was also hell working with that person. And, not working with like-minded people was a seriously big mistake. Knocking down those, the barriers that we create for ourselves, and just having a go. And it's being a little bit more, I guess, having a bit of a risk appetite and backing yourself. The minute you, and this is something that women leaders talk about a lot, is backing yourself. The minute you do that, the room hears you do that, and your trajectory changes. You're able to take people on a journey, backing you. And I guess once you flip that, it's amazing the support you get from the community and how generous people are. So that's my recommendation.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me.